Hey, good evening, fam. Good evening. Listen, I want to take a moment, right, just to share some inspiration, with somebody today that needs to hear it, right? And this actually inspired me from, a really good friend of mine who went to school with this young lady, right? And the conversation that I was having, with her is, just making a decision, right? And making a move, you know. She had a response that to me, I feel like this is what a lot of people, how a lot of people respond to a lot of things, right? It's immediate, it's automatic negative thought process first, okay? Before positive thought process. And I expressed to her, like, listen, if like you cannot look for something bad to happen when you're venturing into something that's new before you look for something positive. Because if you whatever you look for is what you're gonna find. You understand? So if you venture into something and you automatically are thinking about the negative or the worst that can happen in that scenario, there is a very high probability that you're gonna find that thing that you're looking for. Okay? If you look for the positive, there's a very high probability that you're going to find that thing that you're looking for. So I want to say this to you guys, for the people who are listening to this. And I want to say this to you. If you plan on being great this 2025, if you plan on seeing a shift or a change in your life, if the past 10 years of your life has been something horrible, and you're saying to yourself, I'm sick and tired of being this way, one of the first things you want to do is remove yourself from people who think like you. I know I talk about this a lot, and you guys do not understand how important this is. There is a reason why the old folks used to say, birds of a feather flocks together. It's a real thing. If you're constantly surrounded by people who think negative thought process, people who can see the positive in something, everything is doom and gloom. Everything is, this is our lot in life. Everything is, oh, we're not supposed to have this. Everything is this, everything is that. You are the sum total of the people that you are surrounded by. Nothing changes for you until you change. If you're around people who are not making money, you're probably not going to make any money. And that's a fact. If you're around people who are not progressing, you're probably not going to progress. If you're around people who are not constantly talking to you about finance, retirement, making a plan, you might end up being old and broke also. This is a fact. This is a fact. They did a research one time. And the research was, I think it was done with 1,000 people, and I believe like 10 companies, I believe. Okay. In that research, when they say, hey, who is the negative person in your department, or who are the negative people in your department, and they pointed the people out. When they removed those negative people, profit went up by $1 million. When they removed those negative people, some way, somehow, without anything else changing, no new product, no new, strategy or nothing. When they removed those negative people, profit went up by $1 million minimum. But vice versa, they saw that when they kept those negative people, profit went down by close to $4 million. If that doesn't tell you how much having the wrong people around you would destroy your life, I don't know what will. You're not being shallow. You're not being bougie. You're not being uppity. What you are is taking control of your life, because you only have one life to live. And if you're surrounded by people who are negative, they are actually controlling your life. They have more power than you. 5 negative people and just one of you will overtake you. I don't care how much of a prayer warrior you are. I don't care how much you know the Bible. I don't care how much you think God got you covered. If you are around 5 negative people and it's just one of you, you literally have to have the strength of Job to be able to overtake those people. So the one thing you can do for yourself is, moving forward in 2025, you have to remove yourself from these people and implement yourself with positive minded, performing people. That is the only way you're going to shoot up. Eagles only fly with eagles. You will never see an eagle flying with a crow. You will never see an eagle flying with an owl. You will never see an eagle messing around with a chicken. Eagles soar with other eagles. As a matter of fact, a strong eagle can take a weak eagle to a higher length. A strong eagle can take a weak eagle to a higher length. Talking to an agent today, and they're asking me, how do you do this? How do you do that? How do you maximize this? How do you go around this? And I had to tell the agent, there is no easy way out to this thing. You just have to do it. You will learn along the way. One of my favorite movies is Rocky. I have watched every Rocky, every last one of them, at least 20 times. My children love Rocky because of me. I remember my oldest son, we was watching Rocky when he was fighting the Russian, and mind you, he was 10 years old then, right? And he getting up like, get him, Rocky, get him, Rocky, get him, Rocky, right? Listen, there's a song to that particular movie, and I think it's called No Easy Way Out. He had to go through the pain. You hear me? He had to go through the pain. He died 10 times over in pain to be able to condition himself to be able to overtake a giant. If you want the best out of life, there is no easy way out. You're going to have to go through dark moments. You're going to have to fight battles beyond you. You're going to have to summon an inner strength that you didn't think you had. Stop trying to take shortcuts. It lands you nowhere. As a matter of fact, trying to take shortcuts, probably is going to set you 5 times behind ultimately. Ultimately. It may look like you're getting ahead with the shortcuts, but you're not. You have to push through. Just like Rocky, you have to push through. There's no easy way out. There's no way around success. There's no way around being in the top 1%, 2%, 3%, 4%, or 5%. There's no way around it. There is no like if you meet a person who's highly successful and you have a conversation with them, there were dark moments that they just had to push through and just kept on going. Why do we always try to look for a shortcut? It's not real. It doesn't exist. There is not one person in the history of man that has done anything of significance that went about it the short route. It doesn't exist. And the one who did do it, they folded ultimately because they took a shortcut. And life does not reward that. Life rewards straight up, roll your sleeve up, boost to the ground, hard work. I wanted to share this with somebody today. Because there are people out here right now who are struggling to get by, but they refuse to do something. They are looking for handouts. They're looking for the government to save them. And ultimately, we know that would never happen. What you would have done to yourself is rob yourself of time. If you get a chance to sit down and talk with older folks, most of them always have the I wish syndrome. I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have done that. You know, the guy last year summer, and I don't know what made me ask the guy this question because I could have lost the sale. The guy didn't have any retirement savings. He was 57. And I was having a conversation with him. And he was like, I wish I would have done this when I was your age. I wish I would have got started sooner. And I was like, why didn't you? Why didn't you? He never gave me an answer. He just shook his head. He was like, I don't know. Because he didn't make the move. The opportunity had been presented to him multiple times. He just chose not to do it. And now at 57, he has to come to the realization that he's probably going to have to work an additional 20 years to accumulate enough to now say, I can stop working and I'll have money to provide to take care of myself. He has to work until he's 77. People have opportunities, but they choose not to act on it. And most of the time, it's based out of fear. It's based out of fear. It's based out of procrastination. It's based out of I'll get to it later. And later never comes. And by the time you look up, you're 57, you're 67, you're 70. This is what happens to a lot of people. Some people choose not to save for retirement because in their mind they feel like they have time, and they feel like they want to use the money they get now to enjoy life. Then one day they wake up and they have gray hair. One day they wake up and they're 5 years away from 65. Listen, if you're hearing this message today and you know that there's some things in your life that you need to get at and get to, and for whatever your reason is, you're not, this is a moment to take action. This is a moment to take action. Like in Rocky 3, Apollo Creed told Rocky, when Rocky was having some mental things up in his head and they was going through training, and Rocky was quitting during training and say, okay, we'll try again tomorrow. We'll try again tomorrow. And Apollo looked at him dead in his face and said, there is no tomorrow. There is no tomorrow. It is only today. You gotta act on it today. Listen, I hope this message reached the right person well today. I hope whoever heard this is a life-changing message for them. You need to act on whatever it is that you need to do ASAP. Nike's logo is like a check mark. Right? Right? And it says, just do it. We don't want to hear no excuse. We don't care why you can't, or what happened in your past, or whatever. If you got something that you need to do, just do it. The world doesn't care what you went through. The world doesn't care what you're going through. Your family don't even care what you're going through. You cannot make excuses throughout your life. The world, the spiritual realm is neutral. The spiritual realm is neutral. It only reacts to activity. The more effort you put out, the more the spiritual realm comes to help you. The less activity you put out, the spiritual realm flatlines. I want you to understand that when you're praying and you're wondering why nothing's happening for you. When you are praying and nothing is happening for you, I want you to understand why. Prayer without work is dead. It's flatline. Nothing will happen for you. And I will leave it with that. Hope you guys have a wonderful and blessed rest of your evening. Talk to you soon.